What is up? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're gonna be playing a little bit of I don't know. I'm gonna start off the stream playing a little bit of some Astrobots. And then after that, I don't know, I might switch off to some other stuff. Maybe we'll play something on the PC, don't know, but let's see here. We're just gonna jump off here real quick and try to finish off Astrobot. I started Astrobot like literally like 2 years ago and I never finished it. And I started playing a little bit of it not too long ago again, and I kind of just want to finish it now. So yeah. So let's see how that goes. Hold on here, guys. Just give me 1 second. Alright. Let me just get this rolling here. Let me just check that we are good. Here we go. Alright.
What did you say your name was?
Okay, here we go. Playing some Astrobots. Sorry if you guys can hear the fan in the background. It's just a little hot here, so the mic doesn't catch it too much there. Alright, so we were over here. Oh no, not here. We just pretty much have this area to go to. And yeah. Alright, let me see here. I'm trying to get all the characters of from this area. I missed one, and I missed like the secret spin-off area here. For some reason, it takes a while to kind of load in for this mission. I don't know why. Get this guy who's gonna help us find the little secrets here. Oh, okay, I think I see it here. Here we go. There was nothing there. area completely done? Maybe? Let's see, let's see. Bird hasn't picked up on anything over here. Bruh. I'm not getting like any signal from here. Is there any area that I haven't like checked out here? Let me see. Let's go up here. All right. Let's see if we can find something here. drives the game. Guys, what is going on with me? I don't usually miss this much, to be honest, but here we are. I gotta lock in. We got this, we got this. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be the one. This is gonna be the one. Check this out. Alright, maybe not, but there we go. Try one more time. All right. There we go. Anything out here? No? Seen anything pop up on the bird. I haven't seen anything pop up on the bird. Nothing has popped up. Alright, we got something here. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I see, okay. How do I, How do I get up there? Nice. Okay. Defender of Peck Seville. Okay, cool. There we go. Now, I don't know where... It's up here somewhere. Oh, wait a second. No wonder. Okay. Now I got it. Here we go. We're gonna go from here. Alright, so it reaches up to there. Trying to see how I can get across there. Like right here, okay. Is there like another platform that I can I'm gonna have to, I might have to cheat on this one, guys. Let me see here. Let me see. Okay, he goes up there. Oh, I see, okay. I see, okay. All right. So here we go. We got a little hint there. We got a little hint now on how to do this. So we're gonna go here. And we're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. And then here. And now we got the secret galaxy. Nice, here we go. Off to the secret galaxy. It's gonna take us over to the Lost Galaxy section, which is gonna pop up here now. Very nice. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 puzzles. 2 puzzle pieces. All right, here we go. Okay. There we go. Oh, there's one. We got one bot there. There we go. Oh no, I missed it. No! No! It's not gonna let me go back. Restart. Restart. Wait a second, I didn't see what was there. Got that. Oh, I didn't get it. All right, here we go. Nope, I need to go back down here. This. Don't leave. No. All right. No. All right, let's try this again. There we go, finally. All right, there we go. We got the Hellgas soldier. Let's go up here. Like that. Anything over here? No. Thought I was gonna kill me, but I guess not. Go. Just made it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright, I think we're gonna have to go first here. No. Alright, we got these coins. Chuck them. Okay, we got it. So it doesn't matter if we die because we got that piece. So we're good. Let's grab this. 1, 2. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do is get this, and then we're going to go here. Oh, so close, so close, so close, so close. Okay, we can do it, we can do it. We can do it, we got it, we got it. It's all about the timing. Grab this guy here. Here we go, here we go. Okay. And now, let's grab more of this guy. Let's do this. We got another Helghast over. Is there anything over there? On that rock there. I don't think so. So let's go over here. Astrobot. We got one more we gotta rescue. Okay. Let's get that. Let's climb up here. Okay. I think I got it now. We got another Helghast over here. The last one, I believe. There we go. Alright, so we got all the puzzle pieces and we got all the Astrobots. I got tricked. I got tricked. Just get accommodated here. second. Hold on a second. Let's accommodate this a little bit better. I think we're good there. Yeah, I think that looks better. That looks much better. Okay, here we go. So, alright. Now let's go back here. This one is completed. Now we can go over here. Frozen metal. Let's give it a shot. Trying to think back up here. Yeah. Okay, well that happened. Who's that? Gifted soul, a not so imaginary friend. Is that Ellie? That was on me, that was on me. Alright, I got the second one. It's all about the timing. It's all about the timing with this game. No. Okay, try that again. There we go. Oh, we got Sam Bridges. Alright, here we go. There we go. That makes it a lot easier. Let's see if there's anything here in the snow. It's down here. I'm gonna take a guess, and it looks like it's gonna be the last puzzle piece. There we go. Now how do I get to you? Deviant Hunter, the droid that droids dread. get out of here. Let's get out of here. Okay, so we got that guy saved. Let's go up here. Okay, here we go. That guy was good. We just need one more. And we need the puzzle piece. Where could that puzzle piece be? I'm not seeing where that other piece could be, so let's try it here again. Oh, there it is. Okay, okay, we got the last piece here. Oh boy, but this thing is slippery. Damn it. Okay. Alright, 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 alright. We got this, we got this. Let's lock in. Yep, there we go. Okay. Got this. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, wait a second. What if I do this? What if I do this? What if I roll all this snow and make a giant snowball? What's gonna happen? See how big I can make this thing. see how big we can make this thing. We found the hidden galaxy. All right, let's go. We'll come back to that. But first, let's finish this thing off. Because if I do it now, if I take it now, and I go to that other world, I'm gonna have to start this from the beginning. We did it. Nice. Oh, it's the last one. Well, would you look at that? Okay. Well, we unlocked the secret galaxy, so we can one of the lost galaxies, so we can do it now. Or no? Did I have to hold on a second. Did I have to oh no. No. I thought it was gonna automatically show up there, but I guess not. I guess I did have to jump in there right away. So we know we know what we have to do. We can do a speed run of it. Let's do a speed run. Here we go with the speed run. Yep. Here we go. Ouch. Bum 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 bum. Just keep on going. You got nothing to do here. No. That time it took longer to for the ice things to come out. All right, here we go. Because he touched it. Because he touched me, bro. I died. I wish like that instead of like you dying just to one hit, it kind of it gave you like kind of like how in Mario where you have like a lot of health before you get downed. That's pretty cool. Let's do that. Let's go over here. Off we go. Yep, here we go. Oh shit, okay. Well, we're at the part where we need to be, so we're good. We can leave the world after this part and then just oh, here it is. There we go. There we go. Done. Done. Now we go off to the Lost Worlds here. Let's dive in. Oh, we got a Patapon. No, no, no. I don't want to leave yet. Oh, damn it. Let me see if there's anything else here. Oh, there's a... We got a little guy here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. We got 5 more guys to rescue and two puzzle pieces here. Got another guy here. Nice, we got the 2 puzzle pieces. There we go. I think that's everything, right? Very nice, very nice. Here we go. Got this guy. And we gotta save one more Patapon. Who's over there? Okay, cool. Oh! No, the other way. Where's this guy going? There we go. Nice. Okay. We're good to go. Okay. Let me get the hang of We did it! Okay. Oh, we got all of that? Yeah, we got all of them. Nice. I keep on missing them, man. I keep on missing. Alright. I think that was that. Oh, nice. We got a little gift here. Okay, let's go over here. See what this is. The final encore. Alright, let's do it. Let's do the final encore. Nice. there something up there? Nope. Wait a second, there's a... Who's that classic conductor? Excellent at conducting. Oh, wait. Oh. I didn't know that. Okay, so we can't touch the floor there. Wait, so I think I could go into these cannons, right? Oh, wait a second. So wait. There was another cannon over there. I think I might have to go back. Hold on a second. If I can go back, I don't know if it's gonna let me. There we go, yeah, over here. So that doesn't do anything else? No? No. Alright, I gotta restart. Restart. There we go. There we go. try again. We almost got it. We almost got it. Here we go. Here we go. That's from yeah, what's the Fall Guys, I think, right? Alright, let's try that again. Let's try that again. Oh man. Almost. There we go, checkpoint. Alright, we got this, we got this. Another bot rescue. We're just missing one more. I don't think I left anybody back there. I missed one, but I don't know where. Yay! Alright, we got it. We got it, we got it. Alright. So it looks like all the Lost Galaxies are completed. Just need a couple more missions in the nice. Let me go back here real quick, because what I'm gonna do is there's a part in the area that I was before. Well, off stream. This wasn't on stream, but off stream. And I needed like 250 of like the little Astrobot guys. I think I have enough now, so we're gonna do that real quick and see how that goes. $266. Very nice. All right, here we go. So it was over here, I believe. Was it here? I think it was here. Yeah, it was here. There we go. And then it was straight ahead. We needed like 250 characters for here. So let's do that. Let's get it. Nice. Trusty Steed that won't cause you any aggro. It's from Shadow of the Colossus, right? Alright, here we go. And then now we're gonna pop this. What am I missing here? Let me see. Space map. Oh, there was another one here in 200 and the over here. So let's do that one as well. This is 10. If I got that. Let's do this one. 90. This one I think, right? It was 200. We got a leaping Lapin. I think we're done here. So that one's done, that one's done. Alright, so let's go back to the ship now and then try to finish this thing out. Oh wait, but before I go, hold on, no. Hold on, before I go. I'm going here real quick. I want to change my costume to this guy. Yeah. There we go. And let's go in here for collecting more stuff. Nice. Oh, nice. From the Yakuza series. Chasing Lara Croft. Okay. Right, nice. Mike, yep. I forgot what the name of that game was. Nice, I got the Jack costume. From whatever that game is called. These are really nice, cool little Easter eggs. Oh, the Gran Turismo outfit, nice. Might actually switch to that. I do like some Gran Turismo. I'm from Uncharted 4. Pretty cool unlocking these. Let's see. Mountain Surfer, okay. Treasure Memento. Oh, I think this is from Beyond Two Souls. I forgot her name. First from the God of War series. From Detroit Become Human. What's it looks familiar, but I'm forgetting. I'm drawing a blank. From the Uncharted series. Is this from Monster Hunter? Ico, Castlevania, Resident Evil, Infamous, Snake. Nice. This is from Bloodborne, Ridge Racer. Oh, nice. Sam Bridges. Parappa. Liz Smith from God of War. Ape Escape. Bridge of Spirits. Resident Evil. Is this from oh yeah, this is this thing Persona 3 or Persona 4. Infamous. And we got one more. Pyramid head, nice. Okay. Alright, cool. Let's do one more world, and then I'll see if we switch it up. We'll take on one more world. I've also been playing off stream. I've been playing The Last of Us Part 2, but I've been playing the chronological order of it, so I might jump onto that for a little bit afterwards. Luna Solo. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. This one have a, oh, this one doesn't have a galaxy, okay. So it's just three puzzle pieces and the rest are the anything here, no? Before I get going, let me do something real quick over here. Nope. Pull this out. The bot rescue, but I want to go over here again and grab this because it seems like there was okay, that was about it, I guess, on that end. Let's see here. Alright, so that's the first one. Come on now. No. All right, let me stop messing around. I think I just have to hit that button there. the Sackboy. Okay. I missed two I missed two keys, but I'll probably get it afterwards. I'll come back some other time. What time is it right now? Yeah, I missed two of the puzzle pieces. Alright. Let's see, do I want to play anything else right now? I might just actually call it. I don't know. Let me see. Let me jump on here real quick. We'll put on. Let us see. What do we got? I might just switch over to PC real quick. Hold on, real quick. Let me just turn this off. Okay. Let's go over to the PC and see what is going on the PC side of things. I already downloaded in my library. I downloaded Black Flag, but we can't play that yet. We have to wait until that is up and ready to go. Let's see, what is this about?
Oh, hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and you know what, man? Things may be looking dire. That video.
Whoa, why does it sound so low? Oh, I think, because I have the volume out. There we go.
Game crash is happening, but you know what? I think that this is actually a pretty good situation in some capacity, right? You might be like, Muta, why are you looking forward to one of our favorite gaming industries dying out? Now, I'm not the kind of person that looks at something like Xbox getting rid of 3,000 fucking jobs, and the fact that my physical PlayStation discs are not making it past 2028 for crying out loud. Yeah, it's there's been a lot of bad shit to talk about. But the reality of it is that I'm one of those people where I actually want to see how this plays out, because I think greed has been one of those things that has gone on farther than it has. So to give you a quick understanding, I'm actually really positive because for the first time, I have not seen this level of backlash. And I've been around on the internet forever. You know, I've been here since the days when Xbox came out and they're like, you know, if you don't have the internet, just go buy a 360. The level of metric backlash they ended up getting was fucking insane. You know, I've been here for all of the greats that have been playing out. But basically, ever since Sony has said that they're not going to make discs anymore, bro, the cyberbullying that I've been seeing on the internet is fucking paramount. So, for instance, on the PlayStation support side, you know, you just have some fucking innocent person teaching you how to use a fucking PlayStation controller. Like, did you guys know that on your PlayStation controller, you can voice chat using the little microphone? Not know why you would do that, but immediately underneath it, you know, you got motherfuckers going, what button do we press? For physical games. Play has no discs.
I mean, honestly, PlayStation, they did this to themselves. They honestly did this to themselves, so.
I mean, we've even got the AI slop grok army fighting against us with AI generated posters. Personally, I love this image quite a lot. Fuck Sony. Very simple, very easy to come across, and it's all those discs that we've grown to love, enjoy, and buy. You know, it's interesting that companies like Sony have gone on to do this, and you might be like, well, what has been the backlash even beyond this, right? Has there been anything going on beyond just memes? Now, me personally, I didn't know that I had the PlayStation Plus Essentials, like the cheapest version. You know, it's one of those things where, like subscriptions, I tend to forget if I actually was subscribed. So under my PlayStation, I actually saw that I had something on for like I think it was like a $12 auto renewal, turned it off. Unfortunately, this is where, again, these things are kind of a double-edged sword. A lot of people who are inside the industry have went and said, I sympathize with physical media fans, but Sony will not reverse the decision. They, of course, knew what the online reaction would look like, and they now wait for the storm to pass. So basically, they're just in that we're going to post through it phase, you know? Like, maybe one day the gamers will forget. And unfortunately, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I think a lot of normie gamers really just don't give a fuck. And at the end of the day, they're the lion's share of the people that Sony is selling to.
Yeah, they don't. But the thing is that, okay, yeah, the majority of the normies don't. They really don't care. They're gonna whatever Sony comes out with next, and like the next generation, they're probably gonna buy it up without even thinking about it. But honestly, like me who has been playing on PlayStation for more than like 20 years pretty much, or close to 20 years, it's just like I think that if they lose players like me who've been on so long, it's gonna be way more detrimental in the long term. Because a lot of these normies are people who, you know, who probably just ended up getting a PS5 because, you know, it was the more popular option, or, you know, PlayStation was the more popular platform to play on, because the majority of the other people were playing it on as well. But once people start seeing, like, you know what, it doesn't make sense to have a subscription, like a subscription to play multiplayer games or to even continue existing on the platform, I think in the long term we're gonna see a lot more people leave PlayStation, and it's probably gonna go downhill from there for them.
So, for instance, this is somebody that brings up the fact that Sony has 120 million active PlayStation users. Around 50 million subscribe to PlayStation Plus to, you know, play games online with friends, which is one of the things that I had briefly done with PlayStation, right? The few games that I do play with some of my buddies online, I can't play with them on PlayStation. I can play free-to-play stuff because that's not under the same umbrella rules. But yeah, there's a lot of people that pay monthly for PlayStation. As a thought experiment, let's say 500,000 people cancel in protest. That would be just 1% of that business gone. And it really wouldn't be enough for Sony and, unfortunately, the investors to care. One thing that has sort of come out of this, and again, ever since this whole story broke, you would think all this drama would be financially negative to Sony. Unfortunately, in a lot of cases, if you look at the last 5 days, they've actually been up around 4 to 5% in their stock price. In fact, overall, it doesn't seem like this is actually negatively affecting them whatsoever. So you might be like, Muda, why is that the case?
Yeah,
negative backlash? Is it just the internet? No, the reality is our favorite industry is, unfortunately, a fucking cutthroat business. And for a lot of people that have invested in this business, when they see Rockstar Games going fully digital, PlayStation going fully digital, and $100 like price tag for a video game, that gets people's fucking dicks completely erect. Does more work than Blue Chew or Viagra or any of those goddamn pills, right? Because at the end of the day, that means more money going into the accounts for Sony and more money ending up in the accounts for a lot of the shareholders that basically aren't actual gamers. They're people that have looked at gaming as a proper vehicle for investment. And those people are absolutely ecstatic. Like I told you guys last time I was talking about this, there were shareholders mad that Rockstar Games still has an $80 version apparently of GTA 6. They would have been like,
But like, all right, I understand in the short term, these companies want to make money, they need to make money and stuff like that. But in the long term, it's gonna backfire on you because you're gonna lose your base. You're gonna lose people who were heavily invested in your platform to make short gain profits. Like I'm really curious to see where Sony or where PlayStation is gonna be like another 5 to 10 years from now. I don't think they're gonna have the foothold that they have now in this generation. I mean, they still might be strong, but I think that I think Nintendo is gonna be the leading platformer and in the console space for various reasons. You know, they're still pretty strong and pretty heavy on physical games. And for example, for the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2, I own the majority of, I want to say like about like 90% of those games I buy physically for the Switch and for the Nintendo Switch 2. There's really like a handful of titles that I bought and digitally off their storefront. So we'll see.
get rid of the $80 version, put in $100, okay? GTA 6 is so fucking hyped, they could have probably got away with a $120 version and people would be digitally pre-ordering it, right? For me, I don't understand the hype for digitally pre-ordering a game. GTA 6 is one of those games that I feel at this point I can wait for the PC version for it to fucking drop. But even if I am going to play that PS5 version, like let's say the wait, let's say that game is like 100 on Metacritic and every one of my boys is on there. The fact that it's digitally available still doesn't give me an incentive to pre-order the game because what are they going to do? Run out of fucking digital copies? Like
Right.
if tomorrow I get an email, by the way, the digital downloads are running low. You might
And hopefully they
wanna
do. I mean, hopefully Rockstar does like decide like closer to release date that saying, you know what, we are gonna come out with a physical release like a month later. And if that's the case, bro, I might just hold out for that physical release, you know? Cause I mean I got the digital deluxe version or like the whatever, the premium version of Grand Theft Auto 6 only because I pretty much got it free. Like I was able to get like two get like no, I got like 4 gift cards from Costco because they were doing a sale, and I used like some money that I had like on the gift card to purchase those PlayStation cards, put it in my account, purchased the game like the $100 version for like $6. So I didn't really pay much, but if they do decide that they're gonna come out with the disc version of it, I'm probably just gonna cancel the digital pre-order and then just go out and get the disc version.
order, I think I would probably ask how we in society have managed to fucking make a digital download a limited resource. Like, it makes no sense. Physical media makes sense if you're pre-ordering because it's like, maybe they will run out of fucking copies that day. It's a possibility. We've even had it with banger games this generation, right? Like, what was it? Expedition 33? I wanted to go get that game physically. It wasn't really on my radar. By the time I was interested, they fucking ran out of discs at the store. So, yeah, it's one of those things where obviously, listen, in a digital future, I don't understand the people that are already giving the $60 to the company, especially even in GTA 6's case. Like, I'm hyped for the game, but you haven't even seen like a gameplay trailer yet, right? Like, you can kind of hold off. I mean, even the pre-order bonuses, dog, you will get them like a week before, the game comes out. You could literally wait a week before, charge your credit card, and still be in the same situation as somebody who's pre-ordered now. But anyways, this ain't the fucking pre-order digital games like rant, okay? This is the talk about the gaming industry. And, where, again, the positivity for it kind of comes out because ultimately, at the end of the day, people are waking up. Now, one of the
Yeah.
pieces of misinformation that I kind of saw floating around was that apparently one of these Sony executives ended up trading like 54% of their shares. They just ended up selling that shit off like 2 days after this whole digital disc drama. So here is Totoki Hiroki's like actual SEC filing form. And the reason I'm showing this to you guys is that at the end of the day, yes, this is an individual that sold 225,000 shares at the price of $21, something around, I think, like $4.7 million. And the reality of this is that at the end of the day, whether you operate in America or Japan, you are subject to the same insider trading laws. This was not something that was planned ahead in advance. If anything, these CEOs or insiders usually plan these stock liquidations like months in advance, according to a very regulated trading plan. So no, the CEO of the company is not just dipping out of PlayStation. This is probably, in all likelihood, him just getting ready for like extra liquidity or extra stock that's coming their way. Really, this doesn't say anything. It happens all the fucking time, right?
Right.
The reason I know this is I've followed a lot of financial scams in my time on this platform, okay? I know when people are gaming the stock system, and I know when people are just doing what is generally insider trading anyways. So ultimately, at the end of the day, no, this is not Sony finding ways to leave, or at least their top leadership leaving the industry, right? This is something that you would see regardless every step of the way. What you are actually seeing, and what is really important in the context of the story, is that a lot of people are actually kind of waking up to the fact that, are we owning our games? Look, if we're going to live in a digital future, right? The point of a digital future is that even if physical discs are gone, and I guess in the future it's all gone, Sony's not going to backtrack. And here's the thing, back in the day when Xbox was doing some really stupid shit with like
Hmm.
internet required connections on their consoles, Sony was there. They were the competition. They were the people saying, listen, you want to share your discs around? You can. You want to fucking have an offline experience? You can. Right now, Xbox is not, shitting all over Sony and telling us that we have physical discs in the future. What Sony has done is something that Xbox has already done, okay? The reality of it is our physical media is unfortunately a thing of the past. As much as I hate it, it's a thing of the past. So at this point, instead of, kind of being a doomer about it, it's time to accept that if we're going to go into the future, right? If let's say all gaming is now digitally done, now we need fucking protection for you and me. So this is a change.org petition, which is funny because for a long time, I never really filed or never really signed any of these. It's actually been this is something that I did personally sign. And it has gotten up to 234,000 signatures. In fact, it's crazy. The last time I looked at it, it was at like 70,000. So clearly it's catching like wildfire. And the important part about this is not whether Sony will listen to this. They won't. The important part is people are actually asking the question. So the question here is, how do we fucking preserve our games going forward if everything is digital? So I think the real fight is not necessarily with the physical discs. Physical discs are actually great in one respect for me, having a 1.0 initial version of the game. So for instance, if down the road you want to play Final Fantasy VII as it initially released, you can take this copy of the game, install both the discs, and just have a dandy old time.
Yep.
But here's the thing. The physical disc, in this case, is still not preservation, and I'll explain why. So ultimately, at the end of the day, when you purchase a PlayStation, you're buying a system that is a proprietary platform. So to give you an idea, at the end of the day, a PlayStation is an x86 64-based computer, right? It's a computer that, is built by Sony and their partners. And at the end of the day, it runs an operating system. So if you go all the way back to the PlayStation 4, and you can kind of look at the PS5 in the same way, they load up an operating system based off of FreeBSD. So here, on a development kit leaked out, you can see that PlayStation is using the Grub bootloader, the same bootloader I used to use back in the day, right? This is booting into something called Orbis OS. So every time you fire up your PlayStation 5 and it tells you what account do you want to log into, it's just loading up a BSD operating system. And BSD is available on pretty much anything. Does that mean you can just take the PlayStation operating system, load it up on your computer, and then install a game? Absolutely not. Because underneath the operating system, there's a whole range of proprietary shit that the system is loading up. And ultimately, at the end of the day, being proprietary does not mean you have any control even over these physical discs. So back in the day, the PlayStation 2, that was like the last generation of consoles where, Sony wasn't updating the consoles. If you bought a PlayStation 2 and you bought video games, those games had to be complete, playable experiences. The operating system normally couldn't even connect out of the box. There's a great video by a YouTuber, this girl named Fami, who actually looked at things like the PlayStation 2. I think it was the BBN, which was like the early precursor to like the PlayStation 3, where, basically you had this kind of internet-connected console that could receive updates and download entire games. Back in the PlayStation 2 era, you literally purchased a box, and if you kept care of that, like I did, your PlayStation 2 probably still works to this day.
Yep.
And those discs work just fine. The difference now is with the PlayStation 3, 4, and 5, these are systems that, in their respective generations, all other consoles as well, shipped with, system updates, firmware updates, yada, yada, yada. PlayStation 5, let's say, for instance, Sony at the end of this year says, we're going to patch PlayStation 5 and say, you can't play, let's say some of your old disc games. Let's say that they sent out an update in November, right? Or actually, better case, let's say they sent out an update in September this year, and that update says, okay, we're gonna block this so-and-so game from launching on your system. Let's say, for argument's sake, they say we're gonna block Silent Hill 2 disc version from running on your actual system. Now, would that be illegal? I would imagine so. I mean, I'm sure you could take Sony to court over it, but let's say that they push an update that says, we're going to block you from playing Silent Hill 2 or basically whatever game. Now, you as a user can say, okay, I'm not going to update my PlayStation, right? Like, I'm not going to go through that process, so I should be fine. And in theory, you can just leave your PlayStation 5 completely offline, no auto updates, disconnect from the internet, and you can keep it in stasis. But then what happens in the future, right? What happens if you want to play something like Grand Theft Auto 6? Well, that game comes out in November. So when GTA 6 drops, you have to be connected to PlayStation Network to download it. And in order to do that, you have to update your system. So you see what I'm getting at, right? You have no control over that system. You have no control over that hardware. That hardware can impose whatever restrictions it wants. And unless you're comfortable with giving up, playing something in the future on the hardware that you own, there's really almost nothing you can do about it. And at the end of the day, the crux there is not, the physical disk, it's something called DRM. Now on computers, we also have DRM. We have DRM to the point that some gamers probably know of something known as Denuvo. We all don't like Denuvo, but unfortunately it was a part on a lot of PC games. For instance, this game, Doom, has Denuvo anti-tamper. Actually, it was removed today from the game. So meaning that if you are somebody that wants to preserve Doom, there is nothing stopping you from just downloading it off Steam and now copying this game over to a hard drive. I'll actually walk you through it. A lot of people have this misconception that Steam games are only playable underneath Steam. That is true for a lot of games, actually. But in case you're playing something like this where, Routine is this horror game, wish I could put more time into it, but unfortunately I didn't have more than an hour or two and something came up. And anyways, let's say I want to play this game without Steam, right? Now I can go to the actual game files here, and since I have those game files stored on my system, my actual drive, you can see that the actual launcher for the game is routine.exe. So to show you how this stuff works, I'm going to fire this game up without Steam. So because I'm on Linux, I'm going to use this prefix and I'm just going to tell it to run, routine underneath. Now this prefix doesn't have like Steam installed underneath it. The only reason I'm going through this route is to basically run the game as if I never had Steam installed. I don't have anything of that nature. So right over here, you can see that I got routine.exe. Now I can launch this program, and basically what'll happen is in a few minutes, it'll actually just launch the game right here. So you can see literally without Steam, you can even see in the same frame that Steam has not detected the game has launched, but I have launched the game right over here, separately away from Steam. So the DRM wasn't present, and I can basically possess this game. I can share this file with another computer. I can send these files to, I don't know, my brother, for instance, and he can play the game himself. But at the end of the day, I now own this game. Unfortunately, with PlayStation, with Xbox, we're not at that same level, okay? Without their license checks, without us being on good graces with them, you lose access to effectively your entire digital library if these companies want that. And that's something that I feel gamers should kind of wake up to and realize that, listen, if we're going to go into this future, look, the physical fight is important, and I want physical discs to stay around. If Sony keeps physical discs for PlayStation 6 and beyond, I might be incentivized to buy a PlayStation 6 and still put money into that ecosystem. But now we realize the ecosystem is closed, and the only way to achieve actual ownership and peace in the digital world we live in is to get rid of this DRM stuff and make it so that we own what we buy. You know, there has to be two things. They can't take away the content away from us, and they can't just revoke us. When you give somebody your $60 for a game, you should be allowed to basically own it forever. You know, one thing that I find important with discs, like I said earlier, was that 1.0 version, right? It's one of the reasons why even a game that I really love, Cyberpunk 2077, you know, if I was to go to GOG, which is primarily how I enjoy and purchase the game, I can download all of these files and keep the game on my system forever. I can make my own Blu-ray physical copy. But you see, something interesting about this is, even though that I bought the game digitally, you can see that I don't have access to 1.0. The furthest back I can go is 1.63, but you can see that there is a point in this entire situation where I can't access the original game as it released. And that's something you unfortunately can only do via the physical copy. Now you might be like, who the fuck wants to play Cyberpunk 1.0? It's not that who wants to play it, it's that you had the opportunity to, and now unfortunately it's now normalized to rip that away from you. And that's not something that I'm entirely okay with, obviously. But I think going forward, listen, if we're going to be gaming, we need to make it so that we actually own the shit that we buy. That's important. And one of the reasons why, again, I'm on PC, and I guess it's the only path that makes sense going forward, is that at least the PC is an open platform, you know? You can
Right.
build whatever computer you want, shitty computers, really great computers, and as long as you install Windows or Linux onto your system, you can just download whatever launcher you want, download your games, and in many cases, those games don't have DRM. Those are games that once you buy them, those files on your computer can be run without anybody else. You know, we used to, back in the day, have the ability to purchase Windows XP on a disk, and, you know, provided we had a 25 character code, didn't need to connect to any online servers to install your operating system. In some cases, you can still do this with some flavors of Linux, right? Like if you download like Fedora Server, and not the workstation which I use, you can download certain versions of Linux and still have like offline installable media, right? But that's the thing. We are shifting towards a world where a lot of these companies want you to have digital ownership, but it has to be tightly controlled in their walled gardens. And that's not something I, nor you, nor anyone should feel comfortable with, okay? And I think to tie it all back to how I started this video gaming is reaching a crash point. We're gonna crash. Video games are coming to at least this AAA industry is coming to a crash because of their hyper monetization. Because eventually people who, you know, now
Yeah, and it's just not only the hyper monetization, but also the fact that budgets have gotten so out of control. Like if every game now, or the majority of games now, are costing like multiple $100 million, like $200 million, $300 million, $400 million, it makes it a lot more difficult for you to make that money back if you invested in that, you know? And the only games that would really that can probably make that back would be a game like Grand Theft Auto, which is like a once in a generation type of game. And not every single game that comes out from these publishers and from the majority of these studios are games like that. So it definitely is heading for a crash. I mean, and I think it's due for one.
are realizing that, listen, I don't really own what I buy. In order for
We're gonna have a lot of more people being way more selective about what they purchase, what they want to play, and it's gonna be a lot harder for these companies to get people in the door, or to get people to purchase their products, in my opinion.
any of these companies, these platforms like Xbox and PlayStation to survive, they either have to completely open themselves up, which kind of kills their entire purpose for existing. Because really, I think for people going forward, it's like, look, gaming's already expensive. If the next PlayStation is going to be $1,000, I might want to build a cheap computer, right? Something that is still affordable. Install Steam, install Epic, install, or use GOG, or do whatever to play my games. Hey, with PC, I have access to older libraries through emulation. So again, for a lot of these businesses to kind of survive, I think the nickel and diming, as much as people are kind of like defeatist about it, is going to catch up. And the more people kind of realize that when they purchase a game on PlayStation, if you're going to spend $60 digitally, right? Maybe it's better if you spent that money on a cheaper computer, played on something like Steam, maybe played it on slightly lower settings, or maybe the same settings, right? Like, hey, you can still play you might not be able to play shit on like ray traced, path trace, but hey, neither can the fucking PlayStation in many cases. But at least in that case, you are now building towards an open platform that, 20, 30 years from now, you'll still have access to, or even if, let's say, Steam goes down, you can still download a cracked copy of that game, or at least if you have it sitting on a drive, copy it over to an external drive, burn the files on a Blu-ray drive yourself, and just preserve it on your own, right? Food for thought. The gaming industry, it's dire. It looks bad. Layoffs, fucking losing access to our physical media. It's a bad situation all around. But there has never been a better time for a wake-up call than what has been going on right now. So if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like if you dislike it, I am out.
All right. Yeah. So I mean that pretty much that pretty much sums it up. I wanted to see what this video was kind of about. Sony can backtrack killing PS6.
I want to get into why I think they're going to be forced to do something. The amount of backlash we're seeing right now seems to be unprecedented. Like, I'm not going to get into all the stats, but it's out there. Like, this has never happened to PlayStation this badly before, not even close. And it's starting to become an issue.
This is like the worst backlash anything Sony has said since like the great PlayStation outage that killed Zipper Interactive. It could be worse. That was at the end of the day a temporary thing that they apologized for, and they're sure as going to need to apologize for this if they don't want to lose a lot of fans.
They're going to try to advertise a new camera, and all comments will just be Sony. And that is going to be noticed by other parts of Sony, by executives. They're going to realize they can't roll out an ad campaign. And I don't think this is going to fizzle out. And I believe marketing, and I believe the execs at the top will see this going into 2027 if they don't change course sooner, which I think they might. And I do believe they will either find a compromise, make sure that whatever they do feels fair, or they will just entirely backtrack, because they're going to see the data. They're going to see how mad people are, and they're going to, I believe, realize a couple of things. Number one, I don't think they're as ready as they think they are to go digital only. I think they need an entire bridge generation, which is what I thought the PS6 would be, to make sure they know how to handle ownership and everything being download only, and like what the rules are, because you're clearly seeing examples where they fumble things still. I just still don't think they're ready. But also I do think they're going to see that their hardest core fans are gone, and that is who would buy this at launch. And if this thing fails to launch well, then people will say, well, doesn't that suck? And the momentum will continue to snowball. And it won't just be the launch that will be bad, just people will not buy it. And that can become a self-fulfilling prophecy where
well, I mean, people might not just buy it just for, it depends on what price they price this at. Like I'm saying, like if the PlayStation 6 is going to come out at more than $1,000, I don't think you're going to have people running out the door for this product. You might have like obviously like your very niche and your collectors and you're very like
hardcore fan base might be there for day one, and obviously the scalpers are going to try to pick it up and turn it for profit for like double or triple the price. But I don't like if it's gonna be more than $1,000. I find it very hard to believe that the general normie public, are gonna run out to try to get on PS6.
The initial launch is bad, and then people see it looks like it's bad. They don't buy it after launch because it seems like it's not the cool thing to get.
Most of the people at these studios are probably pissed about this too. And I hope that forces Sony into a position where they have to respond to keep up morale, or hell, even keep up employees. Like at a certain point, what's stopping like Naughty Dog from having a mass exodus and forming their own independent studio? Like, I'm sure a lot of them are under non-compete or NDAs, and you wouldn't see all of them leave, but that's happened before with other studios.
I also want to add on why I think the backlash is so big. I'm sorry, this is just the worst time. A lot of people don't feel like this generation has lived up to the hype, and now you're telling us to get a new one and it won't play our games. This is the worst gen to not play it safe and to take something away from somebody, because everyone feels like everything's being taken away from them right now, unless they're super rich. And now you're telling them they can't have their discs anymore. This is going to stick. The PS6 is going to have a failed launch. My prediction, if they do not either backtrack or make it obvious that it's still worth it, like the disc transfer to digital thing Xbox is rumored to be doing. Like, if they don't handle this perfectly, I'm telling you, this will be a...
This is like the 2013 moments for Xbox. This is that moment for PlayStation right now. And depending on what they do and how long it takes them to turn course, I think is going to have very long-term, irrevocable damage to their brand. And a lot of people are probably going to be heading for the door for off of PlayStation and just going on to PC.
To launch for the PS6. And this is, I didn't even say, this is the final reason I definitely think Sony will backtrack. This is the easiest generation to win if they just don't get up. Like, Xbox is adrift. Nintendo isn't competing with them directly. The Steam machine just shot itself in the backyard. I mean, they have no competition. And to let something this small destroy momentum is going to be a very silly blunder. The other reason I think they'll backtrack is because this is really easy to backtrack. You could totally have much less production from Sony, but license out for like runs of indie games or special editions, some capacity of discs. So first of all, this is just not true that like one factory down means 5 of them can't still somehow make one. But okay, on top of that, the bigger falsehood really is that they're ending PlayStation disc production. Sony is not ending disc production. They're not even frickin' doing it. They'll say, oh, well, they already retooled the factory. First of all, they haven't. You just don't do that in a goddamn week. But what they're doing is taking most of the factory floor at that place in Austria, and that's going to go towards making these like lenses or something for VR and other stuff. Okay, but they're still going to keep like 10% of the floor to make PlayStation discs. And this is true because Sony has said this, first of all. Second of all, every game dev I've talked to has said they can still launch physical games by the 2028 date. And after that, they can still order them. They're still going to do low production runs of PlayStation 5. And then they could mean PlayStation 6 discs moving forward. And if their argument is that over time, less and less games will be sold physically, then whatever, you need less capacity. You can still do it, right? Nothing is set in stone. So they can still walk it back. I think, first of all, we have to make that very clear.
Yeah, I do think Sony is very capable of walking it back. I do think the solution, I feel like I'm leaning more towards it, would probably be some USB-C thing. We'll see. And yeah, production next generation for discs might be lower than it is, but some type of preservation of physical media just for the sake of their platforms having compatibility going back and into the future. I really think you need a disk drive. And yeah, like you said, it's not that hard. Like, we have the tools there already and we have the means of like just them quickly cobbling together some device or how like some cord that they need to make it work. Yeah.
I think what they're going to do then is they're going to, if they do backtrack entirely, they're going to say, yeah, look, we'll still make PS4 and PS5 games. There's going to be less capacity than before. Maybe we'll license, like maybe we'll buy this facility, send them one of our watermarks, lock it down, and that can do small runs of indie games when an indie dev wants to order a run of 10,000 discs or something, or a AA dev wants to have a footprint at Best Buy or on Amazon that you can physically order or something. But for the most part, expect a lot less discs to be used by studios, but it's up to them. And Sony will say, we ultimately expect most AAA games will not do this. Like a third of them won't fit on the disc next gen anyways, probably, but some of them will. And I think what you'll see happen if they do this is they will become special editions like vinyl. You could see like God of War, Lofi. You could see them say, here's the Steelbook Collector's Edition, only making 100,000. Pre-order now if you want to be able to get the disc version. I believe that's what we're going to have next gen. But here's why that's better than otherwise. You still can get a disc drive and play your PS4 and PS5 games on PS6. And maybe what we'll find out is that actually a significant amount of people continue to buy the disc version. And then they're like, all right, we'll scale up production. But I do believe that's what you're going to see if they backtrack.
An important thing to remember here is like physical media is probably in a relatively tenuous position right now because, you know, maybe Sony could make this argument, maybe not right now, but in the future, certainly that like this loses us money having discs or continuing to support discs. And once they're at that point, you can call it anti-consumer all you want, but like at a certain point, it becomes financially stupid for Sony to continue supporting physical media.
If the argument is it doesn't make sense to them financially, that argument goes away with what I just said. I'm not saying they're going to scale up some new PS6 ultra Blu-ray that requires a new factory. No, half of the games will come on one disc. Half of them will come on two discs. They'll come in a steelbook for collectors. Okay, well, that means they didn't have to spend all of that R&D. That argument's gone. The other side of it is, well, they have to manufacture and ship the disc. Discs are pennies, guys. That's not an issue, first of all. Second of all, yeah, but if they add $10, it's easy. Sony just says, no, you will subsidize the cost, and it'll be a more limited thing, but whatever. And again, they could be very pro-consumer about it. Right. They could say, in fact, now we're going to require a booklet because if we're going to add $10 to $20 to the cost of a game to be a special edition physical, then it should be cool. And that would be that. I think that wins back everyone. Now you still have to address the digital ownership thing, I think, but I think this could work. And I think it will because this is what I just outlined is very easy. They're not ending production. They're going to keep some capacity. All I'm saying is they don't completely twist the knife and then let the chips fall where they may. And if collectors continue to buy these in decent numbers, I don't think they'll ever remove the disc drive. It will always be there as something for like, you know, people who buy vinyl, and that's what it will remain. But that still keeps some level of control in the consumer's hands. And that still keeps some degree of a check and insurance policy that they can't completely screw us over. And I think that's a much better world than otherwise. This piece of content is sponsored by the Minis Forum. G1 PC is a
Well, I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a little bit kind of concerning that they haven't said anything yet. It might be that they're just waiting to, pretty much, you know, it's pretty. It might be that they're just kind of waiting to find, you know, a statement or the moment to come out with their statement if they are going to walk it back. But I mean, if they don't, yeah, PS5 is definitely my last console. I'm not going to be getting the PS6. I'm going to be moving on from that. And just pretty much gaming on PC. For example, I was going to buy Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, the disc version for PS5, but then I was like, nah, man, I'm not going to give them like another dime. So I just ended up purchasing the Steam version. So I'm going to play that tomorrow. That is what I'll be playing tomorrow. I'm going to see how I feel. I might stream it. I think I might do a stream of it tomorrow. So yeah, But I think I'm gonna call it quits for now, guys. I will see you guys on the next stream. Thanks for anybody who passed by the chat or who passed by the stream. If you guys like this type of content,